This notebook is the design doc for a Twitch game that I want to make. I've got the UI laid out, how the database is going to be structured, some sample code for certain methods. And I think it's going to be fun, but it's kind of a lot of work and a big challenge. So I'm going to do this challenge, which is to create a tracker for the 50 Ways to Die challenge, which has a lot of the things that I'll need to do to make this game, like not learn, but show my knowledge of C#, which I showed I didn't have to learn in an earlier video, set up a website, set up stuff like that. First, an explanation of 50 Ways to Die. It was copied from Reverse 100 Ways to Die challenge that Cliffy made in Mario Maker 1, and I'm just redoing it for Mario Maker 2. There are 50-ish different ways you can die in Mario Maker 2, and the goal is to play Endless Expert and die in all of those ways. Instead of trying to clear levels, you're trying to die in different ways. And this tracker is going to be an overlay that you can have at the top of your stream right up there so that your viewers know how many you're at. And then also so that you can compete with other streamers and have a race, and it's sort of a progress bar. So that's the idea. First thing I did was come up with a list of 50 ways to die. Made it in a nice Google spreadsheet. Found a couple additional ones after I created the list, and that was going to be my tracker. Then I got Hydran to make a better one. It's got like a page you can click on. And we used this as a practice run yesterday, and it went all right. But I think it's time to upgrade to the actual website. So next thing to do is to open up Visual Studio and create a new ASP.NET Core Web app. I think I went with this MVC one. Before I start using anything with graphics, I like to figure out what default graphics I'm going to use. So we're going to hop on here and steal a screenshot of this. And then some quick editing in Paint gives us this, just 3 pictures with an on and off state of each one that I can use in my demo. Then throwing together the project in C# gives us a website with, here's your bars, and you can click them and they turn on and off, and it looks all pretty, right? Next, I change it so that instead of a hard-coded list of divs, I'm writing them in JSON and then reading that in so that I can generate all of the divs dynamically. I made the code super complicated again so that I could separate them into 4 different categories of items. Mainly because I'm avoiding the next thing I have to do because it's hard. I've updated the homepage a little bit to load in 4 different trackers. So this would be like if 4 different people were using the website. You go here, and this is test 11's page. Over here is a different person. And you can see they also are loaded with a different set of deaths. So that's good. It shows in-memory storage. You also notice if I refresh, this number keeps going up. And that's just a demonstration that these values are being stored in memory, and every page refresh is capturing the existing values. I'm not reading it from a file and starting over every refresh. So the next thing is to make this actually do something. This is just visual right now. It doesn't remember that you clicked them, and it doesn't update your deaths when you click them, but it's going to right now. Oh, that's right. We got WebSockets. So what I've got for you now is I added a new page for the overlay. This is what the viewers will see. This page is for you to track it, and this is for the viewers. This is what you actually put into OBS. So let me do it actually right now. Sources, new browser, we'll call it test. It's pretty straightforward. You just toss your URL in there and hit OK. And now in OBS, it has gone out to the website. Do you see over in the right, in the top left corner? It has gone and pulled a new copy of this web page I'm on and has it loaded up there. Now, when I click here to say that I died to the fish on my menu page, when I left click, the fish disappeared on this overlay as well as this one. So now I'll click it here, and through WebSockets, we're sending a message to the server, and it's sending it back out to all clients that died. You can undie to fish, so if I bring the fish back, it adds it back to the end, as well as it keeps a count because it's 50 ways. Since there are 6 left, that means it thinks you have 44 points. So that's fun, that's good. If I go back to someone else's tracker and I say that you died to a fish, it doesn't impact this person's tracker at all, which makes sense to you. That's how it should work, but it took a little doing to make that work. It still doesn't save any of this to the database. So if I just refresh, not a database or in-memory storage either. So I'm sending back to the server the fact that you died here, but I'm not really saving it anywhere. And I think I do want that because if you accidentally refresh mid-run, you don't want to lose all of your progress. So I do need to figure out how to do that. I decided to take a step back and think about what I'm making here. And what I'm making is my website, not just this tracker. The tracker is going to be one page of the website, but the whole website is going to be mine. So I made the homepage be an actual homepage with links to the 50 Ways to Die section of the website, or a link to my YouTube, or something for Fëanor down there. So if you, spoilers, now when you go to the 50 Ways to Die section, you get to a login page instead. So I have 2 login options. One is you connect it with your Twitch account, or you can use a shared guest account. So this is everyone who clicks the guest account is going to be using one account, which seems like chaos, and it's going to be. So it's more just to show you what it is. Ideally, you'd be using your Twitch account. So next, obviously, I'll get rid of showing everyone's trackers, and it would just be your tracker here. But yeah, the Twitch authorization is, since I'm logged into Twitch, my browser, and I've already approved it, it just automatically logged me in. If I go in with a browser that's not logged into Twitch, and I go to log in, well, on this browser I am logged into Twitch, I just haven't approved it yet. So it shows that I'm asking for 0 permissions. Usually there's a big list of things that the website wants to see. I actually had to clear the scope for this API that I'm using. It defaulted to wanting to read your email address. I don't want to know any of your personal information. It's literally just requesting for your public Twitch account information I already have. It's more of, it proves that you are you to me so that you can use your tracker and someone else can't. So not storing any users in my database. Don't even have a database. But I think that'll be good. And if you click cancel, then something breaks. So let's not include that. On my lunch break today, I added this, and this, and the result is now your changes that you make to your tracker are saved in the in-memory storage. So, for example, if I die to these 2 and I refresh, it remembers that I died to these 2. It didn't used to before. You had to do everything on one page. I also added an admin page that shows all of your in-memory trackers. Here, I'll make one for guest. That's just so I can keep an eye on it. So, die to bloopers. That's an interesting bug. I don't know how guest.png created a tracker, but I'll have to fix that. But this is a bit string of the ways they've died. You see that they're different. So yeah, that's cool that stores it. It's still not using a database. It's just in-memory storage, which means if the website crashes and I bring it back up and you go to your run, it's going to reset the run, which I don't think anyone will care about. And it's much easier, so we're going to leave it like that, I think. There's the tracker at the top. I think it's long past the point where we need some better pictures, right? So I'm going to go through all the menus here and do a right click, screenshot source to save screenshots of them, and then I will edit them up. I'm very happy that there's white outlines around everything. This is my attempt at doing a consistent yet time efficient rough draft. I opened up GIMP, I copy it here, and then I paste it into Paint and save it. And then I move the box to the next one and repeat, repeat, repeat. They're going to be slightly off, I think. Like they're not all centered, but nobody will notice that. And then I have to take another screenshot of everything because the top one is slightly bigger than the ones on the side, which I see why they did that, but it's not helpful for me. Well, now I messed up. Luckily, I know it's 80 by 80. Okay. I'm going to do this for the next 60 items. On to the next page, where I'm just going to drop the next page here. And now we continue. Give me my select back. Added all the images, and it definitely flushes out the pages a bit. Here is what it's looking like. This is zoomed in, so my screen's not as wide as it would be. But I don't like how this list is so much bigger than this list on the right. So I think I'm going to change it. I like the categories, but I'm going to make it, instead of 2 wide, it's going to be 1 wide, so it'll be wider. And it'll just be rows. Instead of 4 boxes, it'll be 4 rows. Yeah, that's the way you say what I wanted to say. Here's what the tracker looks like. Again, I think I'm going to make this so it's all one line and have the rest of them just disappear instead of like word wrapped how it is. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on, yeah, like that. That's what it would look like on stream currently. I think I'm just going to make it one line and the rest can disappear. I need to change it so that 0 shows up better, because that's the current count. But yeah, that's it. Otherwise, I think it's ready for me to throw up online and get some other people's opinions. So let's do that, eh? I made a couple more small changes, like I think the changelog page. I added some buttons on this to, let me turn off my breakpoint here. I added some buttons on this page to show what it's going to look like. All these grade buttons don't work, but and then I added rules. Anyway, I think it's time to put this on the internet. It's been 9 days I've been working on it. I'm ready to start using it. So, I started on the least fun part of this journey. Now, if you watched my 100 subscribers video, you'll see that Let's Do Everything handle was taken on YouTube. So I had to do Let's Do Everything YT. The good news is letsdoeverything.com is available. The bad news is that it's $3,000. Whereas I could get .org, .net, and .info for $21. Apparently .com websites are expensive. So that's the domain name. Next, I need to get a host so that it can be hosted. And I looked into that and it was horrible. And I'm just going to start winging it from here. I went and I did what? I downloaded Docker. Haven't used it yet, but I plan on publishing the app, sticking it into a Docker package, running Docker on the website. I think that's how it works. I went and I made a GitHub account. GitHub is source control, which essentially keeps track of your website or your code changes for you. So you can back up to a stable version or just show every change you've made. I prefer SVN. I'm not a big fan of Git for reasons I won't get into because I'm already annoyed. But they're super valid and yet not commonly accepted reasons. Everyone does GitHub. So I went with GitHub. And bad news is the Let's Do Everything account on GitHub also taken by this person who has done nothing with it. So I'm once again on Let's Do Everything YT, but I created a repo for the website. Think I'm gonna see if I can push to it from Visual Studio, I think is a thing. But if not, I downloaded GitHub UI as well. So let's try to do that, shall we? Down here at the very bottom of the screen, this has apparently always been there. Add to source control. 50 ways to die is the name of the solution. I probably should rename that since I did that whole change, but we're not going to. We're going to go forward. Oh, this is so annoying. I think I ruined everything. Okay, got all my errors and warnings corrected. Found a bug where I forgot to automatically refresh the overlay if you refresh the main page. So I added a button to do that, which I'll fix later. It's good enough for now. Let's see. My first commit of 162 changes. Mostly pictures and Bootstrap, but some actual code. Let's just click commit all and assume it'll work. Commit created locally. Now I believe I need to push it to GitHub somehow. I have these. Push. This is the obnoxious part. Oh, push. Git is decentralized. So I'm pushed it to my own repo, which is absolutely useless because everyone uses GitHub in a centralized manner. So let's find the output window. It's down here and it is blank. So I change the view to source and I see Git failed with a fatal error. Repository not found. That's because I deleted it because I didn't know how to fix it. So let's go create it again. Oh my goodness. No. Don't add any files, just create. Resolved all my deltas. Failed to push. Successfully pushed master to origin. Whatever the heck that means. Did it work? 2 commits. Oh, baby. All right, everyone. The website is now up on GitHub. Feel free to go here, download it yourself, and then make your own website if I can't figure out how to get it online. But that's my next step is now I'm going to publish it, I think. No, next I'm going to look for that guide. I'm running it in Docker, which is kind of slow and annoying because I don't have hotfixes anymore. I think I need to turn this on. Anyway, rambles. .NET Core is installed. Docker's installed. Heroku account's been created. Heroku CLI installed. Created an app. Set up a new Docker file. I already have a Docker file here. Is that good enough? Looks good. It's got a bunch of words in it. Are they the same words? It says I should ignore the bin and the object folders. I don't know what I have in those. Alright, let's create a new app in Heroku. We'll give it the same name. My various deployment options. Do I need a pipeline? I don't know. Let's add a payment method. If this works, the Heroku app couldn't figure out how to pull it, but I think I'm pushing it to them directly now. Sort of said shove it. I've been so demoralized. I'm just not enjoying this at all. I feel like an idiot. I have like 10 different searches open for the different error messages I get, and trying this and trying that, and just feel like I'm just throwing stuff at the wall. Okay, app, refresh, deployed. Okay. There was 1 RPS of throughput. Open app. I didn't want to see an error. I wanted to see it. View logs. Well, it took 5 hours and 14 deployments, but I have got my website up and running on the internet. I still didn't buy a domain name, so it's got a different name, but I mean, other people can get to it. Everything works. The Twitch image wouldn't load from the file, so I don't know, it drove me crazy. It all works. It required weird changes that I don't understand why I had to go hunting through Stack Overflow for like this answer that solved one of my problems. Only has 6 upvotes, but this issue should affect every single person who's using Heroku, as long as they're using HTTPS. So I don't understand why I had to hunt so deep to find the answers, but I'm over it. It's up. Let's be in a better mood today, shall we? I made a couple quick changes to fix some things. I can now run it regularly through Visual Studio, like that, or I can set it to run in a Docker container, and I don't want to start Docker. I'm gonna have to actually. So I can run in a Docker container in my computer, as well as I can build it and ship it to the Heroku website and still run it without having to make any code changes, which is how you should do it. It's not what was happening before, and that was part of my frustration, but now it's all figured out. I'm going to, I can't really see it, but go to this appsettings.json and mark it as ignore an untracked item, because it has my Twitch authorization key in there, which you're not really supposed to check into GitHub, so I've gone ahead and changed the one that I already checked in, and we're good there. So let's see, I just did a commit with all of the latest changes. Now let me build it, which I'm still doing manually. You can do it through the website, and it looks like a one-click or auto on commit hook, but manual is fine for the moment. All right, let's see what commands I need. A CD to get to the right directory. login command, which should trigger browser, I think. Nope, login succeeded. Docker build command to build the container. Docker push to push it to Heroku's website. Heroku release to make it live on Heroku's website. Now if I go to the website, look at activity, I should see deploy was successful. And now I can open it and it works. One thing I noticed was that in my here at 3 a.m. there's a nightly restart of the server. So all of my in-memory stuff is going to get wiped. Why didn't this work? Oh, I didn't change the key on this website, the authorization key for Twitch. I'll do that. So when I want to add in, let me do the guest. This functionality, which I think I really should do, so that the mod can control the tracker instead of the streamer, because the streamer's going to be busy playing. They don't want to have to click things. I'm either going to need to have you redo this every day, or I'm going to need to get that database working. So I found out you can add a database through this website. It's outside of the container, which is good. That's going to be my next thing. Probably not on this video though, because this is long. So what's left for this video? Let's fix the website, shall we? Let's go buy us a domain name. Let'sTryEverything.net. $11. Add SSL because I need SSL. I don't need that. I don't need that. Checkout. One website, please, with, what is, okay, thank you, Mr. Guy, for this guide. I bought the website, and then I set up the CMAME, and I'm waiting for like the big collection of pipes and tubes that makes up the internet to flush through that data. And then once it happens, when I refresh this, I'm going to get my website instead of this. It's going to happen right, well, actually, it says it's on Heroku, so I think I might have done something wrong. Is it not working because I didn't put www first? Okay, so what I did wrong was on this page, I didn't add the www because apparently Namecheap sends the www. And I found that answer from this random question. So thank you, Guy. I'll give you double upvotes because I saw it twice. Oh, it's the same page. This is the one. This is the one I found. Some random 15. It's just so frustrating that I spent an hour trying to get that to work. But it works now. The website's up. Let'sTryEverything.net. It's not annoying at all. Authorization does not work, but that's because I didn't add Let'sTryEverything.net as a valid URL, which I'll go do right now in the Twitch developer page. Okay, added. Now let's try again. Okay, and we're back. Website's up and running. Still have things to do, but the website's up, and that was the challenge. So, challenge complete.